Hello and welcome to White Horse Music TV. This is Richard from White Horse Music, which I just said, and I'm doing aerobics. And today I am showing some 3/4 size violins. Someone has asked and said, can you show us some 3/4 size violins? And we have lots of 3/4 size violins, so I'm going to show you lots of violins, and you can decide which one is better, and then you can tell that person which one they should buy, and that'll be cool. All right, so first up, we're going fancy to start with. This one is called a Struna Master violin. The Struna Master, they have Struna Classroom, then Concert, then Master. As they go up in quality, they use higher quality wood, better workmanship, different style of varnishing, which also helps the sound. I'll plonk this down, and you can sort of have a look along these violins. So this one was Struna Master. Violin number, and that's a new one. Violin number 2 here is a Struna Concert. And the Struna Concert looks like that. It's the model below the Struna Master, but don't feel intimidated, that's okay. Next up we have another Struna Concert. It looks so different. Oh my gosh, completely different. It's very dark. And that is because it is a second-hand Struna Concert from a long time ago, and it hasn't aged so much that it's become dark. It's just they were varnished differently back then. It was made in 2013. So there you go. It's interesting that look really polarized people. Some people would come in and say, that is the perfect looking violin, and the next person would say, what, does anyone buy that colored violin? Anyway, next up we have, this one is called a Paganini Vintage violin. And the Paganini Vintage one is one that we haven't had for a huge amount of time. But this particular model sounds really deep. Sounds like a viola a little bit, so that's a pretty tasty one. And then these two last ones here, you often find at White Horse Music that we have violins that have been traded in that Richard has given a thumbs up to and said, these are good violins, but they didn't originally come from our shop. Both of these violins, I believe, are unlabeled. So they're they don't have a name, which is a bit sad. I'm feeling a bit sorry for them. But they're very well made violin. This one over here has beautiful fluting, like these little indentations around here, around the F hole. That's very tough to do as a violin maker. And both of them are really well varnished, and they're very beautiful violins. They sound very different to each other. So maybe I will get onto the sound. I should show you the back of those ones as well. Sorry. There you go. Looks pretty. And, that one looks really pretty. All right, let's go. I'm going to use this bow to play these violins. Struna Master first. Let's give it a try. Wow. As with usual Struna Masters, they sort of sing, like they ring a lot. They're clear, deep sounding, and big sounding, loud sounding as well. So that's a nice way to start. They're not a muffled sounding violin, I will say that. Next up we have Struna Concert. Let's have a listen. Okay, I'm going to just go back to playing the open strings of the Master again. Yeah, there's sort of like slightly less depth in the Concert, but it's very clearer as well, and it's slightly unfair to it because it is not quite in the same price range as the Master, but very tasty violin as well. Both very similar in sound, just a little bit of a difference in depth and ring, I would say. Next up we have Struna Concert. Now this is an old model, so it might throw a spanner into the works. It sounds how it looks. It sounds a bit sort of like woody and deep and old violin-y. So that is different. I'd say it's not quite as much clarity as the other two, but more sort of like woodiness. I'm not sure if that's a good descriptive word. All right, here comes Paganini. I mentioned before that it's deep and viola-y, so let's see. It is as described. So this is deep, rich, a slightly softer sound. It makes me want to play slower. It's weird when you have violins that are deep like that. It makes me want to play sad, slow music. But yeah, quite a different sort of a sound. Definitely the deepest of the lot so far, and beautiful. Just not as clear and loud as the others. So it'll be a personal preference-y sort of thing. Now this is unlabeled violin number 1. We'll call you number 1. You can be, this is number 1. Hello, I'm number 1. All right, I'll play this one. Okay, I would say slightly unfair to this violin as well, because playing it after the Paganini, which is very, very deep, and possibly this is the least deep of the violins that I've played so far, and so it sounds a bit like there's not much depth to it. Like I'll just play the open strings and compare it to the Paganini. The customer's about to come in. There you go. And then I'll just play this last one as well. All right, so this is called number 2, this one. Don't be put off by the name. It's really nice. It's very sort of warm. It's got a lot of depth, even up against the Paganini. It's rivaling that sort of depth, but a lot of warmth and still strength. I really like that one as well. So violin number 2 tickles my fancy. Violin number 2, which is really violin number 6, because that was 6 violins. I really like it. For my tastes, I like all of them. I think possibly you should buy all of them. But maybe in the comments, humans can help other humans and tell them what they think. Thanks for watching. Bye.